Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the DC animated movie Justice League Dark. So if you don't want anything spoiled or ruined for you, stop watching now. This video will also contain language of a frank and explicit nature, so if you're offended by four-letter words, then you might want to stop watching now because viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, Dave here, and I'm once again trying to go outside and get some sunlight in me while I'm recording a video here. I gotta tell you, Tuesday night I missed watching The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. I was out with a friend and we managed to pick up Justice League Dark. Oh my god, dude. Okay, now listen to me. I have said a lot of good things about the DC animated movies. Justice League Doom, Justice League War, Justice League Throne of Atlantis, Teen Titans versus Justice League. Well, there's a lot of Justice League stuff in there, obviously. The Flashpoint Paradox, a lot of great stuff. And they've been pushing the boundaries for quite some time. When they say these movies are PG-13, they're not kidding. But with the desire to up the ante with last year's Batman The Killing Joke, that stepped it up to the R-rated, and this was one of the next R-rated movies that DC Animated has done. Let me tell you something. When they do PG-13, it's a hard PG-13. I mean, the violence, everything in there is pretty awesome. Justice League Dark cranks it up to the next level, okay? The Justice League start investigating strange things happening all around the world where people start hallucinating and seeing human beings as demons and monsters. They start going kill crazy, running them over with their cars, trying to shoot them when they're family members. It's bizarre, and the League can't really handle this. They start investigating, and they figure that maybe there's some kind of supernatural element to it. Now, despite the fact that Wonder Woman and Shazam are definitely mystically inclined, Batman, not so sure. He's going to investigate this a little further, but he wanted to get a hold of an expert to find out more. Eventually, he starts making his way, with a very creepy message, to John Constantine. So we start assembling, this macabre group of mystics. First, he goes to see Zatanna, who we get to see in her classic performance outfit and more in her superhero outfit, so that's kind of cool. We also get to see Deadman showing up in here. That was awesome. And they're trying to get a hold of good old Constantine, who is apparently in Vegas playing a poker game with the Demons 3, Abnegazar, Wrath, and Gast, along with Jason Blood. There, Bardo is trying to get a hold of some various mystic items. We get to find out more about the House of Mystery. It's not just something that they had for their old horror titles. The house has become its own entity. It's kind of like the Sanctum Sanctorum of Doctor Strange, and it's also capable of moving around, so it's not just in one place. Kind of cool. Anyway, when a bad deal goes down involving a Dreamstone and John actually hustling some demons, he shows exactly how dickish John Constantine can be. He actually temporarily possesses Jason Blood's body and makes him say the incantation, "Gone, gone, the form of man, rise a demon Etrigan." And I'm telling you what, the demon Etrigan is a absolute fucking badass in here. I'm not gonna hold back. I'm not gonna lie. We get to see him cut loose, and we get to see Jason recover, and he's not at all happy about Constantine using him. That's just the kind of guy John is. So eventually, Bats, Boston Brand, Zatanna, and Constantine ended up meeting up. They're trying to investigate this, and it takes them on a very interesting investigation. They start going to around the corners of the world to try to figure out what the hell's going on or what could be causing this. Their investigation takes them to some interesting places, including a hospital where one of the victims were still alive. And if you guys remember the movie Dogma, you will get to see a Golgotha. In other words, a shit demon. I kid you not. But this thing is like Cthulhu-esque. I mean, imagine a monster coming out of the toilet but it's like massive in size, made of poo, and it's trying to kill you. At one point, John and Zatanna are trying to go into the guy's head to try to find out when things started going pear-shaped. And Batman is left to try to fight this thing along with Deadman, who keeps hopping bodies to try to get people out of the way or just to save them. At one point, Batman drops a defibrillator and the thing fries him. And at that point, I couldn't help but look at my friend and said, Batman's cooking poo. So that was interesting. I've never seen a shit demon happen before. Plus, Boston, of course, makes a cute little pun where the shit hits the fan. So, see, I told you, this was something so cool I had to cover it. They start trying to find out more about this thing. It starts taking them a couple different places. And they find out that an item that John picked up wasn't just some empty dreamstone. This was something that belonged to something that they actually transformed. A while back in the Silver Age, they had a character named Dr. Destiny. He was a guy who had the ability to go into and screw with people's minds. He was effectively their Freddy Krueger that looks kind of like Skeletor. Now, they went from a scientific thing to turning him into a flat-out mystic that was actually back around the time of Camelot. Jason Blood actually faced off with him, and that's how he ended up getting wounded to become bonded with Etrigan. So that was pretty cool. I gotta admit, sometimes I'm kind of iffy about when they try to rewrite characters, but taking Dr. Destiny to just Destiny, they started to make him step up his game. So, they're trying to figure out who the hell has access to, trying to tap into this thing's power. They eventually end up going around to quite a few places. We got to find Swamp Thing, who's, not just the Dick Durock version, man. He's a full-on elemental of the power of the green, the power of life itself. So this was pretty cool. They end up using him to find one mystic that has been more than a pain in the ass of the Justice League before, Felix Faust. I'm telling you what, when they talked about every magician has their own style, when they do, they cast things like these glyphs and circles and stuff. Each magician has their own style of casting. And Felix Faust is able to hold off Batman and the Justice League Dark for quite some time. I mean, he showed what a wizard could really be. Powerful, dangerous, unpredictable. And eventually, it does take it to a surprising turn when it turns out that one of John's allies looks like he's trying to get one over on it. Apparently during one mission, John and he were on the same thing, and John walked off without a scratch while his friend ended up getting mystical cancer. So it's really complex in that, but that's the cool thing. It's a very good storytelling, and it feels like a good horror movie, even though it is 75 minutes. And eventually we got a showdown with Destiny itself. And I'm going to tell you, this guy was actually showing some powerful magical thump. I'm not even kidding. I mean, at one point, we've got Swamp Thing coming out to fight him, and it's a slobber knocker. I mean, this was the big gun versus big gun, and what he does to Swamp Thing, I've never seen an attack like that, but he hits him in the one place where it hurts. So that was something. Eventually, even the Justice League get called in to try to deal with Destiny, but they end up getting possessed. And there's nothing quite as frightening as the most powerful heroes on the planet being possessed and thinking you're a demon, so they're not holding any bars back when they're going to kick your ass. So, seriously, that was something. Eventually, though, the good guys do manage to win the day, but not without a sacrifice. Part of me wants to tell you who dies in here. See, the thing is, they're not really wanting to hold punches back on this. And in the process, someone that I didn't think would ever die did. Jason Blood actually got separated from Etrigan, and he died while fighting and stopping Destiny. This means that Etrigan the Demon is no longer bound to a mortal body, and he is free. What this is going to lead in the future, I don't know, but it can't be good. I mean, Etrigan was always powerful, always dangerous. Now he's not tethered to a mortal. What can this add for the future? Who knows? So, Batman being the stoic one, he actually managed to drop a couple good one-liners in here. He has that cold delivery, but it's interesting to see Batman kind of out of his element, but still being someone that can handle himself in damn near anything. It really is good, and he ends up making an invitation to try to get Zatanna and a couple others to join the Justice League. John, of course, is going to playing it off, but we end up getting back to the House of Mystery, and it looks like that's the birth of the team. Things start to become assembled for realizing that the Justice League is powerful, and they're dealing with like world-shattering threats and cosmic entities and alien invasions, but they're not necessarily the greatest for the supernatural. You need a team like the Justice League, Dark. And despite the fact that John Constantine is a bastard who will more than likely screw you over and insult you while getting the job done, he is still someone that gets the job done. So if you like that kind of quirky yet snarky and, you know, confident kind of asshole arrogance that was able to actually fight and do the job, then you're definitely going to like Constantine. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you are a Constantine fan, and this is just going to make you, you know, even more so. So if you see Matt Ryan at a convention, you know, tell him cheers, mate. So seriously, this movie was rated R. It felt like a good rated R. The demons in here are kind of scary for an animated movie. This shows that DC's got the balls to go to places other people won't. Not naming names, Marvel. But, I mean, if you like something like Hellboy or something like that mixed in with your classic superhero fare, definitely a good movie. It's definitely one to check out. Plus, it also has a sneak peek of the upcoming movie, Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. One of the greatest storylines in Marvel history, or DC history rather, back in the 80s, 90s. It was great storytelling. It was powerful, poignant, and they're promising that even though they've got some cast changes and they are staying faithful to the story, there might be some twists and turns in here that'll still surprise you. I like that. So, overall, I think it's damn good. It's worth picking up and, you know, look for it. And I haven't had a chance to check out the special features on it yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing that too. So, like I said, the movie itself is worth it. It's also worth it for this behind-the-scenes peek for Teen Titans Judas Contract coming up later this year. So, overall, I'd say if you're a superhero fan and you like a mix of horror and supernatural, hell, if you're a supernatural fan that wants to get into superheroes, this is a perfect segue to go into. Seriously. So, what do you guys think? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around. And until next time, Dave signing off, working on my material for my next Arrow Roast. Peace.